back to Punk Yeah Education for Hairstylist. I'm your host and creator, Elizabeth Tyndall, and today we're going to be doing curtain bang tutorial. Our first step is going to be our parting. So I like to start by taking a center part and then basing my triangular part off of the center part. That way I can make sure that my triangle is going to be even on both sides. I always start smaller and I can always add in more hair later. And something else that I found as a kind of a pro tip is to make sure that you comb down the hair on the sides to make sure you're still going to have a heavy face frame, even though you are cutting bangs into the hair. If you go too far over into the side section there, you'll start to lose the perimeter in the front and their hair will seem extremely short from the whole part in front of the ear. So just making sure you're very aware of leaving down a perimeter on the side to fall in front of the face slightly is kind of a veil. And this will be the section that I decide to take. And next we are going to move on to starting our cut. So for starting the bang, I like to take a small center part right at the nose. That way I can use that as my guide on each side when I go to cut the bangs. I'm going to do a slide cutting motion down once I determine the length that I am wanting to have these bangs start. And I will keep slide cutting until I have a very strong center piece there. And the slide cutting is really just going to make sure it's soft and you don't just cut a completely straight line on the center of their nose, because once you put a line into the hair, it's very, very difficult to blend out. And I'm going to change angles here in just a second so you can actually see the cutting motion that I will be doing. Now we're going to move on to the slide cut. So I am just going to take the hair, pull it slightly forward in front of the face, and just angle my shears at a diagonal going to the bottom corner. And that's going to give us a really soft line in the hair, nothing harsh. And if you feel like you need to texturize it and remove weight even further, you can use this really nice deep, I like to call it like a deep slide cut, but I use that technique all the time to soften my bangs. And then I will just repeat the process until I have the desired length that I would like. It's very important to make sure you remember that short hair pushes long hair. So whenever you do that deep texture, you are just going to enhance the natural flow of the hair, and it really just helps push the hair to the side even further. Now we're moving on to the other side, and honestly, this side is so much easier for me because I don't feel like my hand is at a weird angle. So I always like to start with my more difficult side, and then I can always mirror that very well on my other side. So I'm just repeating the same exact technique. This one is just slower a little bit so you can see. I am just slide cutting all the way down from the base of the bang to the bottom corner. And then we will make sure that these sides are even, but again, utilize your same technique. If you do something on one side, make sure you are mirroring it on the other side of the hair to make sure you're creating enough balance in these bangs, because unbalanced bangs, you can tell when someone took too much weight out of one side versus the other. One side does appear very thin, and that's just not a look that you want to go for. Or if you are wanting to create that look, just make sure that you are taking the same amount of weight from the other side. Now we are just going to make a few final touches. I'm going to go in and point cut where it needs it. And then I noticed that on the bottom corner here, it is a little bit longer than the other side. So I'm going to go in and just point cut that excess length off of that corner. And this is our finished result. I absolutely love these curtain bangs. I love doing longer curtain bangs like this with a bob as well. It's very versatile, and if she wants to part it in the center, she can, and still have balance on both sides. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial and took something away from it. And if you do decide to try this technique, please tag me in it. I would love to see your work. We'll see you next time.